There was a time when turning a complex part meant setting up multiple machines, repositioning the workpiece again and again and hoping everything lined up just right. Those days feel like ancient history now, especially when you see what the Mazek Integrex can do with iMachining technology. What we're watching here is something remarkable. The Integrex is what they call a multitasking machine. It's like having an entire machine shop condensed into one sophisticated piece of equipment. This particular unit combines precision turning with full 5-axis milling capabilities, all in a single setup. Imagine that. Back in the day, this part would have visited 3 or 4 different machines. The real game changer here is the iMachining software. Developed by SolidCAM, this intelligent programming system calculates optimal toolpaths that traditional methods simply can't match. Watch how smoothly that cutting tool moves. There's a mathematical elegance to it. The software constantly adjusts cutting parameters based on material engagement, maintaining consistent chip thickness throughout the operation. That means less tool wear, better surface finishes, and significantly faster cycle times. See how the spindle rotates the workpiece while those cutting tools approach from multiple angles? That's the beauty of the turning center working in harmony with the milling head. The Integrex's lower turret handles the primary turning operations, while the upper turret and milling spindle tackle the complex features, drilling, threading, contouring, all without ever removing the part from the machine. The precision here is measured in microns. The machine's thermal compensation system adjusts for heat expansion during operation, maintaining tolerances that would have seemed impossible just a generation ago. This is the kind of manufacturing technology that keeps American industry competitive, producing aerospace components, medical devices, and precision parts that meet the most demanding specifications. What you're witnessing isn't just machining, it's the evolution of American manufacturing craftsmanship, meeting cutting-edge technology. Pretty impressive, wouldn't you say? Now here's a machine that commands respect. The FKB press brake you're looking at represents the pinnacle of sheet metal bending technology, designed for those jobs where precision meets serious size. What sets this beauty apart is the Bentronic control system. Think of it as the brain behind the brawn. This advanced software doesn't just control the bending process, it actually calculates springback compensation, material properties, and optimal bend sequences automatically. The operator inputs the desired angle, and Bentronic does the complex mathematics in milliseconds. Watch how smoothly that massive upper beam descends. The machine's synchronized hydraulic cylinders maintain perfect parallelism across the entire length, ensuring consistent bend angles, whether you're working the center or the edges of a 12-foot sheet. The back gauge positioning system, controlled with pinpoint accuracy, automatically adjusts for each bend in a multi-step sequence. This is the kind of equipment that shaped America's industrial backbone, now evolved for the modern era. There's something mesmerizing about watching raw steel transform into precision tubing, isn't there? What Maxim Tubes has created here is a masterclass in continuous production, the kind of operation that would have amazed the steelworkers of generations past. Let's walk through this remarkable process together. It all starts with those massive stainless steel coils, typically 304 or 316 grade stainless, each coil weighing several tons. The first station is the uncoiler, which feeds the flat strip steel into the forming section with consistent tension. Tension control is absolutely critical here. Too much and the material work hardens prematurely, too little and you get dimensional inconsistencies. Now watch this forming process. It's called roll forming, and it's pure engineering poetry. The flat strip passes through a precisely calibrated series of roller dies, each set progressively bending the steel closer to a circular profile. Count them. There might be 15 or 20 roller stations, each contributing just a few degrees of bend. This gradual forming prevents material stress and maintains the steel's structural integrity. Here's where it gets really interesting. See that point where the edges meet? That's the welding station, and it's happening at remarkable speed. High-frequency induction welding creates a forge weld by heating the strip edges to approximately 500 degrees Fahrenheit in a fraction of a second. No filler material needed. The steel literally fuses to itself. An experienced eye can spot the weld seam, but run your finger across a finished tube and you'll barely feel it. Immediately after welding comes the critical cooling and sizing phase. The tube passes through calibration rolls that ensure perfect roundness and precise outer diameter. Tolerances here are tight. We're talking plus or minus a few thousandths of an inch. The inline sizing section adjusts for the natural springback of the material, something that varies slightly with each batch depending on the exact metallurgical composition. Quality control happens continuously. Ultrasonic testing equipment scans the weld seam, looking for any imperfections that might compromise integrity. Eddy current testing checks wall thickness. These tubes might end up in food processing equipment, pharmaceutical manufacturing, or even aerospace applications, industries where failure simply isn't an option. The cutting station uses high-speed flying saws that match the tube's travel speed, making clean, square cuts without stopping production. Finally, each tube section gets inspected, marked with production codes, and prepared for finishing operations like deburring or end forming. What you're witnessing is the kind of precision manufacturing that built modern America, now refined to an art form. From coil to finished tube in minutes, with quality that exceeds anything we could have imagined 50 years ago. Here's something you don't see every day: the actual production of cable car cables, demonstrated at the Swiss Transport Museum in Lucerne. These aren't just any cables, they're literally what stands between passengers and gravity. The process begins with individual steel wires, each drawn to exacting specifications. Watch as these wires feed into the stranding machine, which twists them together with precise tension and rotation. A typical cable car rope contains 6 strands wrapped around a central core, each strand itself composed of multiple wire layers. See that helical pattern? It's engineered that way for a reason. The twist angle distributes load evenly and provides flexibility despite the cable's incredible strength. During production, each strand maintains specific preload tension to ensure uniform stress distribution in service. The closing machine then wraps those 6 strands around the center core, creating the final cable structure. What emerges can support dozens of tons while bending smoothly around pulleys and drums. This manufacturing heritage stretches back generations, proof that some engineering principles are simply timeless. Now here's a process that built the skyline of every American city: the production of welded H-beams. There's something deeply satisfying about watching raw steel plates transform into the structural backbone of modern buildings. The process starts with 3 steel plates, 2 flange plates that form the top and bottom, and 1 web plate that becomes the vertical section. These aren't just any cuts of steel, they're precision-rolled plates, often several inches thick, cut to exact dimensions by plasma or oxy-fuel cutting systems. Watch as the automated handling system positions these massive plates. The web plate stands vertically, while the flange plates are positioned horizontally, creating that distinctive H shape. The alignment has to be absolutely perfect. We're talking about beams that might support entire building floors, so there's zero margin for error. Here comes the fascinating part: the welding operation. Most modern facilities use submerged arc welding for this application. You'll see those welding heads traveling along both sides of the web to flange joint simultaneously, laying down deep, penetrating welds. The process is called submerged arc because the arc actually burns beneath a blanket of granular flux, which protects the molten metal from atmospheric contamination and produces exceptionally strong, clean welds. The welding parameters are carefully controlled: amperage, voltage, travel speed, all calibrated for the specific steel grade and thickness. These welds need to develop strength equal to or greater than the base material itself. As the welding heads progress, you can see the flux material being continuously fed, then later vacuumed away to reveal that perfect weld bead. After welding comes stress relief. The intense heat of welding creates internal stresses in the steel, so many beams go through a thermal treatment process or mechanical stress relief to prevent warping. Finally, the beams are straightened using hydraulic presses, inspected for dimensional accuracy, and often shot blasted to prepare the surface for painting or galvanizing. These beams, some stretching 60 feet or more, represent manufacturing craftsmanship on a grand scale. What you're about to see is forging in its purest, most impressive form, the kind of work that connects us directly to centuries of metallurgical tradition, now executed with remarkable modern precision at ASO Forge. The process begins with raw steel billets heated in enormous furnaces to temperatures around 200 degrees Fahrenheit. At this temperature, the steel glows brilliant orange-yellow, hot enough to become plastic and workable, but not so hot that it melts. Temperature control is absolutely critical. 50 degrees can make the difference between perfect grain structure and a rejected piece. Now watch as that glowing billet moves to the forging press. What you're witnessing is open die forging, where massive hydraulic hammers weighing dozens of tons strike the steel repeatedly. Each blow isn't just shaping the metal, it's actually refining the internal grain structure, aligning the crystalline structure for maximum strength. This is fundamentally different from casting or machining. Forging creates parts with superior mechanical properties. See how the operator rotates the billet between strikes? That's skilled craftsmanship right there, ensuring even deformation throughout the piece. The steel gets progressively longer and thinner with each pass, the diameter reducing while the length extends. Between forging operations, the steel may return to the furnace for reheating, maintaining that optimal working temperature. The color tells experienced operators everything. When it fades from yellow to red, it's time for another heat cycle. After forging comes controlled cooling, often following specific temperature curves to achieve desired hardness and toughness. Then machining, heat treatment, and rigorous testing. What emerges is specialty steel bar stock with guaranteed properties. This is Vollert Anlagenbau's automated production line for Leonhard Mall, manufacturing concrete railroad ties with precision that makes traditional timber ties look downright primitive. Let's follow this process from start to finish. It begins at the batching plant, where limestone aggregate, cement, sand, and water are precisely measured. Modern concrete ties use high-performance mixes, often with specific additives for freeze-thaw resistance, that achieve compressive strengths far exceeding standard concrete. The mixing process is computer-controlled, ensuring batch-to-batch consistency that's critical for structural components. Now watch as the system positions the pre-stressing steel. Unlike regular concrete that's merely reinforced, these ties use pre-stressed concrete technology. High-tensile steel strands, each capable of withstanding over 40,000 pounds of tension, are stretched tight before the concrete pour. This pre-tensioning creates compression in the finished tie, making it incredibly resistant to bending and cracking under the constant pounding of passing trains. The mold carousel system is genuinely impressive. Multiple molds move through the production line in synchronized sequence. As fresh concrete fills one mold, another is being vibrated to eliminate air pockets, while yet another releases a finished tie. Watch that vibration step carefully. Those aren't just shaking tables. The vibration frequency and amplitude are precisely calibrated to consolidate the concrete without segregating the aggregate mixture. Here's the critical part. The concrete needs to cure while those steel strands remain tensioned. The ties move through steam curing chambers where elevated temperature and humidity accelerate the curing process. What normally takes days happens in hours. Once the concrete achieves sufficient strength, typically around 7,000 psi, the pre-stressing force is released. As those strands try to contract back to their original length, they're locked in place by the hardened concrete, creating permanent compression throughout the tie. The demolding process is fully automated. Mechanical strippers release the ties, then robotic handling systems sort and stack them. Each tie gets marked with production codes and date stamps, full traceability for components that might remain in service for 50 years or more. Final inspection checks dimensions, surface finish, and structural integrity, Some ties receive ultrasonic testing to verify internal quality. The finished products are remarkably consistent, same weight, same dimensions, same strength, batch after batch. These concrete ties outlast timber 3 to 1, maintain track gauge better, and require far less maintenance.